In the movements of the first half of this kata, the power always comes from the diaphragm and the shoulders should always be relaxed. These movements should be performed slowly. Any movement of the feet should not only be done by using the legs. Always keep your back straight and keep your body facing the front. Then move with your whole body. Never twist your body. When blocking or punching, both hands should have equal power. When the block or punch has focused, continue immediately to the next movement without stopping. In the second half of kata, after the feint, make a 90-degree turn and stand kick the back of the opponent's knee. In this movement, be careful to keep your leg up while you are turning and stand only at the end of the turn. At the beginning of the second half, there is a lot of tate-seishun stance. The first movement and Suzuki after Gedan Gobi Komizuki and Mikazuki Geri are all in tate-seishun stance. In one of the movements of this kata, the left hand feints to the front of the opponent with the right hand following, keeping the left hand open and the right hand ketsui. This is one of the faint motions called nekodamashi in Japanese. After this, block using the outer ridge of the left hand. When blocking, you should twist your body to the right. However, be careful not to twist your hip too soon. The last time when executing the combination consisting of right Gyakuzuki Jodan, followed by the right foot stepping forward, this step should be longer than the other time. After the left Gedan Barai, take note of your feet movement when you are doing an upward palm heel block. When doing Gedan Barai, slide half a step forward, and again another half a step forward when doing the next block, with both hands open against the kick. Do this before spin turning and jumping back. When executing the first and second movements, the beginning of each movement should be executed quite quickly, then the remainder slowly. When executing the backward turn, you should not only move your feet back, but all of your body, because your attack is coming from the front. From the 6th movement to the 11th movement, you should keep looking at the same spot. After executing the third movement of Mayageri, don't pull your arm back before making Junzuki. After executing a left Gedambari, attack the front side of the opponent's head using the palm heel. When you next execute a similar movement, strike with the bottom fist. In the last movement, stretch out one hand over to the opposite side of the shoulder, grasping the opponent's hand and pulling it down. Kihon Gumite show all the techniques peculiar to Wado. The movements, especially the side movements, are very smooth and economical. In the body movement, the defenders evade the blow by the smallest margin possible. A minimum amount of movement is used to defend while gaining a position to counterattack immediately, which is very important. Always think positive so that you can make a counterattack either at the same time as you block or immediately afterwards. One of the most important points of any kumite with an opponent is maai. This means keeping a good distance between the opponent and you. Another important point is when attacking with a punch following through with body, don't pull back your arm before making the movement. Also, when attacking or blocking, don't pull your free hand back to the hip. Instead, place it across your chest. To block the first attack to the face, the defender moves the left foot, then the right foot back slightly to the side, and then twist the body to the left slightly. This maybe is insufficient to block the attack, so you should then lift your right arm between the right side of your face and the opponent's fist, thus intercepting the attack. Do not block with a sideway arm movement. The stance of this first block is shikodachi. In the second blocking movement, do not block with your hand. Block by twisting your hips and body movement. It is not necessary to block hard with your hand, just enough to cover your body. The most important point to note is the body movement. In the last hand, you should have 60% of your weight on the back foot and 40% on the front. Both toes are turned inward, enabling you to keep good balance. Both heels touch the floor. This is Seishan stance. When leading your opponent, don't forget Zanshin, being aware of your opponent's movement at all times. When moving back, you should always be thinking of attack. Do not block the attack at Tatsuo by blocking it sideways. Your right arm should come between your body and your opponent's leg, cutting yourself off from the attacking leg. If you try to block Tatsuo sideways and your opponent is heavy and strong, he will knock you off balance. It is also important during this block to twist your hip to the left and at once counterattack with a body twist to the right. attacking with the right hand high toe to the ribs and the left palm heel to the kidney. It is important to use your whole body in this attack. When the attacker attacks with a left Miyagi to the body, he should move his front foot back slightly before kicking with the back foot. Otherwise, you'll be too close. As soon as he lifts his back leg up for a kick, the defender should slide his right foot forward with his toes turned inside to defend his goal. The back foot does not move. Attack straight to the opponent's solar plexus with your right hand. Move your left hand across your body to hit the inside of the opponent's left leg while twisting your body to the left. All these movements should be done at the same time. To make the second block, move your left foot back slightly to the left, then your right foot. Don't twist your body when swaying back, but keep your body facing the front because a twist will slow down your counterattack. Make the twisting block with an outer side of the left hand against jaw-down punch. If you do this, you can make a very powerful block using little power. It should be carried out in a string movement backwards, then forward. After blocking with your left store hand, push up the underside of your opponent's upper arm and at the same time make a right punch using the middle finger hitting the vital point in the armpit. To make the second movement, move the left foot back to the right, twisting your body to the left. Don't move your right foot. Then, using the bottom of your right fist, hit down on your opponent's right chu-down yakuzuki. Don't just use your arm to hit down. Use your body so you can hit pulling inwards. The important point to note here is to bring your body down while twisting it. The throwing technique is very difficult to explain. This should be studied by carefully examining the video picture. The most important thing in throwing is rhythm. After throwing, you should put your right foot forward above the opponent's head, dropping your right knee onto his right elbow. This will cause him great pain and he will be unable to move. The second movement of the block is the same as in number 2. The last blocking movement against a right punch to the face is the same as in number 1. The only difference is that the punch is to the face. Be warned that when attacking, you must always focus on your target. If you make your attack too far away or off target, defenders cannot learn the correct defense technique. So, those people must always practice by making real fighting movements. You must always be strict in your training. If the defender's punch is off or his block is insufficient, the attacker should hit him. Most people cannot reach their opponent in their last attack because they are too far away from him. This technique is the application of Wado's body movement and Suzuki. When the attacker attacks with Mawashi Geri Judan, the defender's response is a counterattack to the left side of his neck using the right store hand. The left arm just covers your body, protecting it from the coming Mawashi Geri. However, hitting your opponent's neck is very dangerous, so instead you should hit the hard part of his chest. When hitting with the right store hand, after the first block, don't pull your arm back before hitting. If your shoulder is tense, you will be unable to avoid pulling back. Slide your foot forward with your left foot moving to the right and your hip twisting to the left, as in Suzuki. The important point of this technique is body movement. In a first blocking movement, do not block the sideways. Instead, twist your body and your right elbow to the left to deflect the blow away. This should be in Tatsuo stance. When making the third movement, which is a straight right punch striking down to your opponent's right leg, you should simultaneously twist your hip to the left, moving your left foot to the right. However, this is very dangerous, so when practicing, hit outside of the leg. When doing the fourth movement, keep your back straight and your hands in shikodachi and attack using your right enki supported by your left arm. In the last movement, to unbalance your opponent, it is important to keep your head close to his body. Otherwise, he will hit you with his fist or elbow. In this Kihon Gumite, the second evasive movement of the body is the same as in number 1 and number 6. The aim of the attacker's second left punch is to brush between the bent arm of the opponent in a screw action to the chest. But this is blocked by naturally twisting the body to the right. Use the right arm to deflect the punch. The first movement is in the Tatsuo stance. In the first block, bring the right store hand from below right up to the left, twisting your hand. During this block, body sways back to the right. In the second movement, to avoid your opponent's left punch, move your head down to the left and step forward to the left, blocking your head with the lower part of your arm. Before throwing your opponent, you should first pull up his body. The most important thing in these techniques is distance. Always measure the distance between your body and your opponent with your mind unoccupied by the sword. When the opponent lifts his sword up for attack, immediately step in, moving to the left, so that if the sword comes down, you are still safe. Evade the downward shoulder stroke by moving your head first, then shoulders, waist, and finally legs. Then you should move the attacker with your right hand open and slip it under his jaw, pushing upward. During this last technique, you should note the position of the right elbow and the left hand. To evade the sword attack, move your right foot slightly forward to the right and your left foot further to the right than the other, twisting your body to the left. Pull back your left hand sufficiently to avoid getting it cut. This attack is not a cut, but a strike to the neck, so you should sway your head back to the right while moving your left leg to the right and twisting your hips to the left. Block with a right store hand, deflecting the opponent's attack sideways. As the opponent attacks with a diagonal stroke from right to left, you should evade the attack by moving back your back foot, then the front foot, and by twisting your body to the right. This is a very delicate movement, so you should switch the video to slow motion to study it. In all these movements, the most important thing is timing.